Is my camera like blurry, or is that just... What the fuck? So this video is hopefully going to be short and sweet, just a little bit about who I am and why you might want to hire me as your script editor. So I did do a little video introducing my script editing a while back, which I'll link, but this is going to be a little bit more about my journey to doing the script editing, a little bit about my writing, and just to give you, a potential client of mine, a little bit of an insight into who I actually am, because I feel like when you trying to find someone to work with, especially on a creative level, you want to work with someone who you can vibe with, right? My name is Evangeline. I'm 24 years old, 25 very soon. Don't talk to me. I am currently living in London. I actually just moved to my new flat, which is in North London. The address is, so I actually got into writing when I was about 10, 11. I used to watch all like the classic 80s movies with my dad. I distinctly remember watching The Karate Kid with him, and I didn't want to watch it. I was like, no, like, this looks shit. I don't want to watch it. Like, put Barbie on or something. And I watched it and I was so taken aback and so like amazed by it, and just felt so many things watching that last scene with Crane Kick. And I was like, I wanna do that. I wanna, not karate, I wanna write films and make people feel the way I felt watching that film. And from then on, anytime I'd watch a film, I'd like remake it in my head, and I'd be like, okay, this is what I would do, this is who I would cast, I would change this part of the story, I would get rid of that character, I would put this character in, all that sort of stuff. I started writing scripts, but not the correct way. Like, I used to write them almost like stage plays, so I didn't know how to write a film script. And then it actually wasn't till college that I learned how to write a proper film script. I only had a 6-week module of creative writing in school. Absolutely thrived, I loved it, and then I was like, this is what I want to do. So when I left school, I went to college and I did creative writing and film and sociology. I love creative writing. My teacher was so good. Rob, if you're watching, genuinely loved your classes. And that was actually where I first started researching and really looking into how to actually write a film script. That was when I like really started being more serious about it and started that's when I started properly writing, just creating stories and just really enjoying myself. And then I went to university and I studied film. I don't know if I should say the university, because the university is actually not ranked very high, but it is ranked well for film. I just want to say that. It's Middlesex University. But yeah, I had, again, an amazing screenwriting teacher, David. If you're watching, he's not, but if you are, loved your classes, really inspiring, and learned so much. And it's very much the stuff I learned at uni specifically that I use a lot when I'm script editing. Like, a lot of the books I was recommended to read in uni, a lot of the advice my screenwriting teacher passed on to me, I now pass on to other people. So yeah, it was a very, very important time in my writing career. So unfortunately, I graduated the year COVID hit, so March 2020. Obviously the whole world went into meltdown. Naturally, so did I. Uni ended very abruptly. We all kind of got sent home. I couldn't stay in London because it was crazy expensive anyway, and there was no chance of getting a job. I moved home, not that willingly, but I moved home and I ended up being stuck there for like 3 years, and I was pretty miserable. But I did a lot of writing, and I actually created some stories that I think are some of my best during that time. So it wasn't all bad. But during that time I was very bitter that uni ended the way it did, and for a while I was like blaming everyone else, and then all of a sudden I was like, you know what, I need to do something. So that's when I set up Dr. Screenplay. I'm gonna put the logo here. So Dr. Screenplay is my script editing little business. It's weird calling it a business because it's just me. But I guess it is a business, isn't it? I set this up in a time when I felt like I needed something to do. I wanted to like use my skills, and getting a script sold is a hard process and it's a long process. I wanted to do something that I got, I guess, instant gratification from. So I was like, script editing, let's give it a go. And I absolutely fell in love with it. So obviously I love screenwriting and writing myself, but there's something about developing other people's stories that I just really love. I really get into it. I really like helping a writer get more out of their story, deepen their concept, deepen their characters, sort out the structure. Structure's normally like one of the things that I notice writers struggle with the most. Got lots of book recommendations for that. I might do a video on that about books that you can read for structure. Overall, just bringing out the best in someone's writing, I find it so enjoyable, and that's why I love doing it, and that's why I still do it. I do have a full-time job. Obviously I live in London, I have to have regular income, but even if I'm coming home from work and I'm doing a script, or I spend my weekend working on someone's script, I don't find it doesn't feel like work. It's just genuinely enjoyable, and I love it, and I want to do it full time, write and edit full time, but it's just not plausible at the moment. So in terms of the services I provide, you can go and check out my website. I'll link it all in the description, but over there I have some client testimonials, I have a breakdown of the packages that I provide. I sort of split them up into things like just like an edit, like a line by line edit of like grammar, sentence structure, that sort of thing, formatting. Also more of like a beta read, so more getting into the like developmental side, the characters, the structure, the story itself. And then I also provide like a script coverage report. You can see all of that on, it will be easier to read it rather than me spurt it all out. I just sprayed it everywhere. Feedback. So this is something that I've noticed differs so much between different clients I've had. In terms of feedback, I'm very adaptable with how I give it. So if you want verbal feedback, I'll give it. If you want written feedback, I'll give it. If you want a Zoom call, let's do it. If you want to meet up for a coffee in London, let's go. I'll pay. I won't actually, you'll have to pay because I'm broke. And also, actually it's probably important to mention that I literally work with any level of writer. I literally will read your script if it's the first thing you've ever written. One of the things I enjoy about it is watching a script go from a first, maybe not a first draft, because a first draft, no writer ever wants anyone to see their first draft, but an early draft to the polished draft. I love seeing that journey and that development. So it doesn't matter what level of writer you are, whether you're aspiring, amateur, accomplished, just hit me up. I guess lastly, just talk about my social media. So like I say, I have a website which you can find me on. There's also my contact details there for how you can contact me about script editing, like my email. But again, I will put that in the description. Oh, TikTok, I do have a TikTok, so you can follow me on there. I do some like day in the lives on there. And then YouTube, I do quite a bit on YouTube. So I like to do reaction videos where I talk about the scripts of shows. I'm gonna be uploading a little bit more scripty stuff, hopefully in the future. My prices are affordable. That's probably one of the most important things to talk about is pricing. My pricing's affordable. I'm not an idiot. I know we're in a cost of living crisis. Like, I'm not charging insane prices. I'm just charging enough that I can live off. That's it. Pricing all depends on the length of the script, the package you choose, all that sort of stuff. So I can't give definitive prices, but I can give quotes. So if you want a quote, get in touch. I am now gonna go. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a lovely day, evening, whatever time it is where you are, and I'll see you in my next video, hopefully. And yeah, bye. I can't end videos, I'm so sorry.